the frontline in Raqqa can be a crazily chaotic place. They are taking this area street by street, and every time they go out, they draw the fire. Where? Go, 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 go! I'm trying! Go, go! Go, go! There is devastation everywhere in the Syrian capital of the Islamic militants. The battle to oust the extremists has come at a very high cost. These are dismal conditions they're operating in, with festering food and excrement all around. Jeez, bad smell. There are the dead too. Their fallen enemies now under blankets which don't deter the flies or stop the overwhelming stench. But the militants left behind in Raqqa know that's their end too. It's just how long they can hold out for. I'll see you. They are taking this area street by street and building by building. And the Islamic militants are moving around all the time. The difference is, this mainly Kurdish group is being constantly helped by the US-led coalition with, crucially, intelligence and technology. He's looking at a satellite image of Raqqa, which allows him to pinpoint where he is and where he thinks the IS militants are hiding out. The information's then relayed to their coalition partners, who launch air and artillery attacks. But in this war, the foot soldiers still have to rely on rudimentary homemade grenades slung over their shoulders, as well as a big dose of bravery. Making his way down the stairs is Bahos. His friends wish him well. He needs it. Too many of them don't come back. Food, water and cigarettes are ferried out to keep the forward teams going. The last soldier you see here is Bahos, who doesn't realise he's running straight into an IS trap. Go! Often the militants lie in wait for them and then pounce, and every soldier here is finding that out. What's striking is how young some of them are, but this is more than a war. This is a fight for their future.
Daesh, أين Daesh? What Daesh? What?
Yeah.
What Daesh?
That explosion is the one Bahos has just run into. Somehow he manages to make it back, but it's not clear straight away that he has a number of wounds. He has blood running down his face, and as they take off his jacket, they realise he has a deeper injury to his back. We give them our heavy-duty bandage, as it becomes clear they have no medical supplies. None of them have flak jackets or helmets either, just a fervent belief in what they're doing. As the militants fight back around them, his colleagues try to stem the bleeding. He's only 18, but he should survive. Just getting back has increased his chances, although he's still a long way away from a hospital. As we make our way across Raqqa from east and now west, with Syrian democratic forces as escorts, it becomes clear just how much of the city has been pummeled and is still taking a hammering. We go to the roof of one building to find a unit trying to dislodge extremists who are holed up in Raqqa's main hospital. It's thought to be the final base of the militants inside the city. This is the problem with IS extremists. It only takes a few of them to hold out huge numbers of the people who are trying to oust them. They can hold them back for days, weeks, even months.
The civilians have lived under extremists for about 3 years, and now this fighting. For Raqqa's citizens, this has been their hell. The civilians have fled any way they can in their tens of thousands and are camped away from the city, many of them families now living rough, still traumatised, and some still carrying their battle wounds. All this man can remember is endless explosions.
We can't go back home at all because it's full of mines. Maybe after they clear them, we can go back.
They're mourning the loss of lives and loves they used to have. This woman, one of so many to have her son executed by IS without knowing why.
They chopped him in half and threw him into the desert.
We were shown a labyrinth of tunnels just outside the hospital. The militants are using them to great effect. Soldiers help another injured colleague, attacked after militants crawled behind the advancing troops. The last militants' outpost may be surrounded in Raqqa, but the extremists are not giving up. This fight has produced unlikely alliances between Arabs, Kurds, Christians, even Syria's Bashar al-Assad, all focused on crushing IS. The two soldiers hug each other tightly before triggering the recoilless rifle, unsure if they'll survive the blast. Its power can punch through walls. This is the back blast we filmed with our second camera. They are giving it their all. But the growing worry is what happens afterwards and which of the partners will claim what territory. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Raqqa.